Hello everyone, hello Cameroon. Remember I told you in my last video that I'll be doing a video series on the 2024 Cameroon tax law, right? Like the finance law 2024. So in today's video I'll be looking at the changes that the finance law brought to PIT, like PIT, right? Personal income tax, or in French we call it RIPP, or the les impôts sur les revenus des personnes physiques. Yeah. So the finance law in 2024 brought some changes to this particular section of the general tax code, and that's what we are going to be looking at in this video. So don't go away. I'll be right back with more. Welcome back. When we talk about PIT, or personal income tax, this is a tax that is imposed by the state on every revenue that the person physique, or the natural persons, or the physical people make in their country. Okay, and this revenue is on every earnings. Like any money that you make in that country, they are going to ask you to pay a certain tax, which is called the personal income tax. And in Cameroon, you are actually the one that goes and declares this tax, and then you do the payment based on what the general tax code is saying. But in 2024, that's beginning January 1st of January 2024, we had some some slight modifications to this section of the general tax code, which is what I'll be looking at in this video today. Now, section 25 was touched, which is like the liable person. Some wordings were added, and then of course section 33 and section 34 were like the major articles on the GTC, or the general tax code, that were actually touched. So I'm going to read the changes, and then of course I'll take some time to explain more, or to dive deep, so that you understand. Okay, so the first change was on section 25, which is liable persons. Let me read that. Section 25. Subject to the provisions of international conventions and those of section 27 below, personal income tax is payable by all individuals whose tax domicile in Cameroon on their worldwide income. Guys, I hope you read that with me. Okay, now I'm going to underline something that made the change here. This particular paragraph is what was added from the finance law 2024. Okay, and the main thing that is tricky here is the worldwide income. That's the first thing that I saw. Now, what it means is that even if, so long as you're physically in Cameroon and your tax is domiciled, like your tax center is domiciled in Cameroon, but you are making money worldwide, like you're having some earnings from wherever you are, then you are going to pay the personal income tax on that particular earnings. Okay, so it's like if you're a lawyer, or you're an accountant, or you're wherever you are, and you are making money from China or America, but you're based here and you're actually paying your taxes here, then they are going to apply the PIT, or the personal income tax, on those revenues, or those earnings. So that was the first change that came to this section of the GTC. Okay, and mind you, also based on that text, they said the international conventions are also going to apply. Like we have double taxation treaties with other countries. If that's in place, they say it's going to apply. If you've already paid tax in another country on that earnings, then it will not warrant you to pay tax in Cameroon, of course. And of course they mentioned that those in Article 27, like Article 27 is talking about the persons who are exempted from paying this tax. So those in Article 27 are not liable to these taxes. Okay, now let's go to the next section, which is section 33. Section 33 was also modified a little, and section 33 talks about the basis of assessment, like how do you do to come up with your personal income tax, like the basis to charge your personal income tax. Now you have to understand something here. The PIT, while calculating the PIT, there are elements on your payroll that is exempted, based on the general tax code. There are elements that are taxable, and there's another element that we call the benefits in kind. Like we have before we had like housing benefits, we had food benefits, we had domestic servants, vehicle benefits, and all these things were included at a particular scale. Now in 2024, that's beginning of January 2024, this has been modified. It's like it has been expanded a little to include other items. So as earlier mentioned, we had housing allowance at 15%, electricity allowance at 4%, water allowance at 2%, domestic servant allowance at 5% per domestic servant, vehicle allowance at 10%, and then we had food allowance at 10%. But right now in 2024, we've had the addition of telephone allowance 5%, fuel allowance 10%, security guard allowance 5%, and then we have internet allowance 5%. These are the things that were added in 2024. We have telephone allowance, we have fuel allowance, we have security guard allowance, and then we have internet allowance. Now, if you have been given any of these allowances on your payroll, then they are going to calculate the percentage that's stated in the general tax code and include it on your taxable base for PIT purposes. Okay, like for example, telephone allowance. If you have been given a telephone allowance for, let's say, 10,000 francs CFA, then 5% of that will be included into the taxable base. Okay, now to me, I see this as something that's kind of like good, because any other thing apart from these ones that have been listed here, they are going to be included at cost, like at their 100%, which implies that you'll be subject to paying PIT at 100% for those who are not included. But for these ones, they are going to just take like 5% of the amount and include it in the base. So this is a favorable thing for employees or for salary earners or for those liable to pay personal income tax. Now, subsection 2 of this same section 33 is saying that every benefit in kind that you've been paid in cash, like anything that you pay in cash that constitutes benefits in kind, shall be taxed at 100%, or shall be included into the taxable base at the entire cost, like 100%. So for example, if you were giving some kind of allowance cash, they are not going to subject that to anything that I mentioned above. Like they're not going to apply the percentage based on this particular section of the general tax code. They are going to charge that in entirety. So what happens is, guys, if you have a company or you are the accountant of a company, then try as much as possible not to pay in cash. Okay, so everything has to go through the electronic system. Like you have to pay through a bank check or through electronic transfer, so that you can benefit from these rates that the general tax code has now applied for the benefits in kind. Article 34 is still talking about the basis of assessment, okay? But in this case, it's talking about the deductible amount. I'm going to read what the General Tax Code says, and exactly I'm going to also tell you what was added in 2024. The net taxable income shall be determined by deducting the gross amount paid and the benefits in kind or cash granted, the business expenses calculated at a fixed rate of 30%, as well as the contributions paid to the state, the National Social Insurance Fund, NSIF, for compulsory retirement. Now, the second article under this section 34 says, this is what was added. The amount resulting from the application of the flat rate provided for in the first paragraph above is capped. Take care of this word. Is capped at 4,800,000 francs CFA per year. Now, you have to understand that the PIT, or the personal income tax, is an incremental tax. Like the more you earn, the more you are taxed. For example, if your tax bracket or if your taxable base per month is between 0 and 2 million per month, you are taxed 10%. And if it is between 2 million and 3 million, you are taxed 15%. And if it is between 3 million and 5 million, you are taxed 25%. And above 5 million, you are taxed 35%. Now, what this particular article is saying is that normally when your taxable base per annum is calculated, it is reduced, okay, by 30%. For example, I'll give an example. Let's say your taxable base is 100 million francs CFA, okay? And what this article, that's article 34, says is that 30% before is taken off that amount, and 70 million is what is subject to the personal income tax based on, you know, the range that you have. Then the rate is applied. But today they are saying that this amount is capped to 4.8 million francs CFA. What does that mean? It means instead of taking out 30 million as it was last year or before, like the 30% of 100 million, they are going to end at 4.8. You understand what I'm trying to say here? So what will actually happen in this case is that the amount that will be subject, if you are earning 100 million per annum, is going to be 95,200,000 francs CFA. That is the amount that they are going to now apply 35% tax rates on it. But before, they could take out 30% and apply just on 70 million. Okay, so that's exactly what this change is all about. And if you realize, what they are trying to do here is that they are trying to tax more the people who are making more money. Like, you earn more money, the government is coming for you to take, you know, to take more from you, and the people who are earning less will benefit more than the people who are earning more. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think these changes were beneficial to the company, or they were beneficial to the employees? For example, I hear a lot of people saying that, oh, they're going to go on strike because this is going to probably impact the payroll of the employees directly, okay? And that might not be good because it's going to reduce their take home, like what they'll be taking home. So was this changes good for the Cameroon economy, or was it bad? Let me know in the comment section. Let's keep talking. This is just episode 2 of my series on the Cameroon tax law 2024. I will be doing more in subsequent videos, so make sure you click on the subscribe button and subscribe on my channel. Also turn on the notification bell so that each time I upload a new video, you will be the first to know. Keep watching many more videos on this channel. And if you're having any difficulty with applying your PIT or calculating your PIT, please, you can contact me. The numbers are on the screen, and of course, I'll always be there to help you, right? See you in my next video. My name is Rofo Chifo. Bye-bye.